Have you ever been in a conversation where everything sounded normal on the outside, but strangely empty on the inside? How are you? I'm fine. How was your day? It was okay. And while the conversation flows, your mind quietly withdraws, searching for something deeper, something more meaningful, something real. If you often feel mentally drained by small talk, you are not rude. You are not antisocial. And you are certainly not broken. Psychology suggests that disliking small talk is often linked to how deeply your mind processes the world around you. Firstly, overthinking makes small talk feel mentally loud. What seems like a simple exchange to others can feel cognitively heavy to you. Your mind is not just listening to words, it is analyzing tone, intent, emotional cues, and the right way to respond. So while the conversation appears light externally, internally your brain is working overtime, turning a short interaction into a mentally demanding experience. Secondly, your brain naturally craves depth rather than surface interaction. For reflective and introspective individuals, conversations that remain on the surface can feel unstimulating. Your mind is drawn to meaning, insight, emotions, and ideas. So when discussions stay limited to routine scripts, your mental engagement slowly fades, not because you dislike people, but because your mind seeks substance. Another reason is that you value authenticity over social performance. Small talk often requires socially expected responses rather than genuine expression. Smiling politely, nodding automatically, and responding out of habit can feel emotionally inauthentic to a self-aware mind. And when conversations feel performative instead of real, your inner mind begins to disengage. Additionally, introverted cognition processes social energy differently. This does not mean you dislike interaction. It simply means your mental energy is spent more selectively. Frequent, low-depth conversations require constant engagement without emotional reward, which can leave you feeling drained instead of fulfilled. Your mind quietly questions the purpose of investing energy into interactions that lack depth. On a deeper level, strong self-awareness creates an internal mismatch. Your inner world may be rich with thoughts, reflections, and layered emotions. But external conversations may revolve around routine topics and predictable exchanges. This contrast between internal depth and external simplicity can make small talk feel disconnected from your true mental state. Psychologically, your nervous system may also prefer intentional and emotionally meaningful interactions. Casual questions like, "What do you do?" or "Tell me about yourself," can feel unexpectedly intrusive to a depth-oriented mind. Not because you are defensive, but because your mind prefers conversations that evolve naturally rather than socially scripted interactions. Most importantly, you are likely a selective socializer rather than an antisocial person. There is a powerful difference between disliking shallow conversations and disliking human connection. You may genuinely enjoy deep discussions about life, emotions, psychology, purpose, and personal growth. But repetitive surface-level conversations can feel mentally unfulfilling and emotionally hollow. Psychologically speaking, you seek emotional resonance, not just interaction. Small talk creates interaction, but it rarely creates true connection. And for a mind that values understanding and meaning, interaction without depth can feel empty, even when the conversation is socially appropriate. And here is the hidden truth many people misunderstand. Disliking small talk does not mean you lack social skills. It often means you are psychologically intentional. You observe before you speak. You think before you respond. You connect slowly but deeply. However, there is an important psychological balance to remember. Small talk is often the doorway to deeper conversations. It acts as a social warm-up that gradually builds comfort and trust. Completely rejecting it can sometimes create distance, even when meaningful connection is what you truly desire. So the goal is not to force yourself to love small talk. The goal is to understand why your mind reacts to it the way it does. Because if you have ever felt out of place in casual conversations, if you have ever stayed quiet while others spoke endlessly, if you have ever longed for deeper dialogue in a room full of surface exchanges, there is nothing wrong with you. Your mind is not antisocial. Your mind is depth-oriented. Your mind is intentional. Some people speak to avoid silence, but others speak to discover meaning. And the inner mind will always choose meaningful connection over empty noise. If this resonated with your inner experience, then you are exactly where you belong. Welcome to the Inner Mind Psychology, where we explore the hidden thoughts, the quiet behaviors, and the deep psychology behind everyday experiences most people never pause to understand. Follow and stay connected, because here, we don't just talk about the mind. We understand the mind beneath the conversation.